One of the most common questions I get asked when I'm out on the tracks is, what do I need to do when I'm modifying my four-wheel drive? What should I be putting on my car? So I've come up with the top 5 modifications I would do to my four-wheel drive after I drive it off the showroom floor. So the first thing I would look at when modifying my four-wheel drive is making sure that I've got some recovery gear in my car. So snatch straps, recovery treads, and definitely those rated recovery points. Second thing I would look at modifying my four-wheel drive around is communication when you're out in the bush. So you imagine you're outside the city, you don't have cell phone connection anymore, your only form of talking to anybody else out on those tracks is the use of your UHF radio. Now at Motorama we recommend the GME Touring Pack, which we run in all our vehicles. They come with a selection of aerials, get you great coverage, and that's going to be your best form of communication when out there on the tracks if you get yourself stuck and need some help. Now if you don't want to go putting the big aerial on your four-wheel drive or you don't have a bar yet, at a minimum I would start with a 5-watt handheld radio. Now most of them out there on the market are waterproof, they're a 54 channel radio, but look, we recommend that GME gear. It's lasted us for years in the four-wheel drive club and I highly recommend that. And when you do finally upgrade later to the in-car system, you've got that ability of having the handheld that you can take with you when you get out of the car to help spot your mate down the hill. The third thing I would look at fitting to my four-wheel drive as I'm accessorising it is looking at my tyres. Now most of your cars when they come off the showroom floor will have either a road tyre on it or a semi-off-road tyre. Now when we're talking semi-off-road tyres, they're 80% road use and 20% off-road use. When we change them out, we go for an ATR that's a little bit more aggressive, Ched. It changes that percentage from 60% off-road to 40% on-road. So it's going to get you that nice grip when you're climbing those hills or getting into those muddy puddles. Fourth thing when I'd look at modifying my four-wheel drive is looking at the bash plates that I've got under my car. Now, all the four-wheel drives when you take them off the showroom floor have bash plates under them. They're made out of about 1.5mm steel. They will handle the average day use when you're off-road on a dirt road, but when you do get out into the more serious stuff, you want to look at upgrading those bash plates. Look for a set of custom-made off-road bash plates, usually made out of anywhere from 3 to 5mm stainless steel, and they're going to cop those bashings when you're bouncing over a rock or you don't pick a line quite right and you end up hanging yourself up on a rock. And the last thing I look at doing when modifying my four-wheel drive is looking at that suspension under it. Now, the suspension they come out from factory is good, but when you start getting yourself off-road, you need to look at upgrading it there. When we're talking suspension, we're talking about springs and shocks. Pop down to one of our local lifestyle stores and they'll set you up with the suspension you require depending on what you're going to use your vehicle for. So if you plan on towing, we're going to put a suspension package under your car that is perfectly designed for towing. If you just plan on hitting the tracks all weekend long and don't plan on hooking a van up behind you, then we've got a package for that too. When modifying my four-wheel drive, the 3 things that I really think about is how am I going to recover myself when I'm out there on the tracks? How am I going to communicate with people around me when I'm out there if I do get myself in trouble and need a hand? And how comfortable is that ride going to be when I'm trying to climb that next hill to get that beautiful sunset photo for Instagram? Now, when you're looking at modifying your four-wheel drive, make sure you pop down and see the guys at any of our Motorama sites or pop in and see our friends from Lifestyle 4x4.